All right. The chair now lays out House Bill 54 and recognizes Chair Symphonia Thompson to explain her bill. And Chair Thompson, I do understand you have some changes in the bill, but those are not before us, but you are obviously welcome to tell us what you are looking at.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members. I think there's a committee substitute.
Well, the committee substitute is not before us, but you are certainly welcome to tell us the changes you are going to make.
That would be a committee substitute, and the committee substitute merely adds a section to the bill that allows HSSC to adjust the amount of personal need allowance by rule to reflect the percentage increase, if any, without the legislature having to direct the agency to do so.
Okay, so just basically an inflation adjustment will be.
Yes, sir.
You're looking at adding. Okay.
Mr. Chairman and members, this committee has been gracious enough for several sessions to hear this bill and to vote it out favorably.
And thank you very much, by the way, for being willing to go out of order this morning. That really helped things, so thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. The federal law requires Medicaid recipients in nursing homes to retain a portion of their monthly income to cover personal needs, a personal needs allowance. For Social Security income recipients, the personal needs is currently $60. This amount originally was set in 2001, but it got reduced to $45 in 2003. And it got restored back to $60 in 2005. The cost of living has drastically increased in the last 20 years, so $60 can't buy very much today. Texas seniors really deserves an increase in the personal needs allowance so that they can purchase things like haircuts, clothing items. Many of them in nursing homes, in air-conditioned facilities, a pair of socks goes a long ways in keeping your feet warm. A jogging suit goes a long ways in keeping their body warm. It means a lot to be able to have a Polygrip toothpaste, shampoo, or just a bar of soap that you like to bathe with. A razor to shave. I'm submitting a contingency rider in the appropriations bill that will cover the cost of this bill. And Mr. Chairman, that's the essence of this bill. I want to thank you again. This bill has been voted out several times by this committee, and the bill was funded and it was passed out of the House, but unfortunately it died in the Senate. And I would appreciate a favorable consideration, and I'm available for questions of this wonderful committee.
Right.
And would like to reserve the right to close.
You will certainly have that. Members, any questions? Thank you for bringing this, and hopefully by getting an early start, we can get it all the way across the finish line.
Thank you so much.
We do have a few witnesses. Chair calls Debbie Kane, registered self for the bill, and up next will be Loretta Hill, but we'll go one at a time. Thanks, Blake. And, ma'am, if you'd state your name, who you're with, and your position on the bill, we'd appreciate it.
Sir, I want to thank Chair Frank and Human Service Committee members. My name is Deborah Kane. I'm a patient at Elgin Nursing and Rehab. I am representing myself and my other patients at the nursing home. I'm 62 years old, and due to physical deficits resulting from several strokes, I've been at the residence at Elgin Nursing and Rehab Center for the last year.
And, ma'am, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but your position on the bill? For, against, or neutral?
For. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. That's all right.
Okay. I am writing today to request that you vote in favor of House Bill 54 to increase the P&A amount to $85 per month. As you know, the P&A has not been increased since 2006, when it was raised to now $60. because of the P&A, the only monies I have for my personal needs, I find it hopefully insufficient, and I use my P&A to pay for items that the facility does not provide, and the items that are provided but are not good quality. A portion of my P&A is used to buy minutes for my cell phone. As to the facility phone is located in a public space, so there is no privacy. This means that my personal cell phone is the only means of having a personal or private conversation. I use my cell phone to stay in contact with family and friends. All P&A funds not used for my cell phones are used to buy health and beauty items, as well as food to supplement or replace what is being served at the facility. The food here is not what I am familiar with eating, and it's also often not less appetizing. It would be nice. It would also be nice to be able to go out for dinner once in a while. Because I only get $60 a month, most months the funds are gone by the middle of the month. That increase of $25 may not be sufficient to some, but for me and other residents here at the nursing home, it will be a welcome relief for some of the issues we face every month. Thank you for your time and attention to this issue. And again, I ask for you to support House Bill 54.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Members, any questions? Thank you very much. Great job. Chair calls Loretta Hill. And up next will be Alexa Schumann. Sorry. Is that Loretta Hill? Okay. Oh, no problem. Sorry. And if Alexa Schumann will be next, so if you can, there's a couple seats down here in front. You can. Blake, I think if you'll move that chair just a little. Thank you, Ms. Hill. If you'd state your name, who you're with, and your position on the bill, please.
My name is Loretta Hill, and I am obviously for the bill.
And I'm representing yourself?
I'm representing myself, and I am a member of the Residents' Council at Elgin Nursing and Rehab. Okay. So I'm representing the 90-plus patients that are unable to be here to speak for themselves. And I would like to thank you and the committee for giving me the opportunity to speak. In 2020, I was 58 years old or 57 years old and living my best life. I was independent. I was taking care of my own needs, my responsibilities, and everything was good. And then COVID hit, and I got sick. And several strokes, a bout with COVID, and a coma left me unable to roll over in bed, much less sit up, stand, walk, any of that. I've been working towards regaining my independence, and I am now, although mostly spending my days in a wheelchair, I am able to walk with a walker, and I'm making great progress. I've been living at Elgin for the last 14 months, and I find that being in a nursing home is sometimes a very demeaning lifestyle. We are not given many choices we're not given choices of much that deals with us. My P&A is mostly used to provide food that I need to supplement or replace the food that's provided, because I also suffer from PCOS, which is a disorder that makes it imperative that I eat have a low carb lifestyle. And the food provided is institution food. There's a lot of high-carb foods, rice, pasta, potatoes, and such. So I spend a lot of my money on buying the stuff that I need to keep me healthy. I also, because I'm working towards independence, I choose to use pull-ups for incontinence issues. And the facility provides briefs, but those are designed for easy removal when you're laying down. And they're not good for using in a restroom. That you can't take them on and off. They're not designed for that. So I use pull-ups. The facilities don't provide them. So we have to provide them out of the monies that we get. And as Debbie said, $25 doesn't seem like a lot. But to someone who's working with 60 now, 25 is a big improvement. And again, I want to thank you for listening to me, and I really hope that you will push this bill out, and hopefully we can get it through the House and the Senate this time.
Okay, thank you very much for your testimony. Members, any questions? All right, thank you very much for coming. Chair calls Alexa Schumann, and then Gary Gerstenhaber. It will be next. If you can just come up to one of the chairs. You're good. Just come up to one of those. If you'd state your name, who you're with, and your position on the bill, we'd appreciate it.
Good morning. My name is Alexa Schumann, and I'm for the bill, and I'm representing the Texas Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program. As you know, long-term care ombudsmen are independent within HHSC, which means my testimony today does not represent HHSC. We are very thankful.
And it means you're good testifying.
Yes.
For a bill.
Correct.
Different than the rest of the agencies.
Thank you. We're very thankful for the work of the Human Services Committee and certainly Representative Thompson for continuing to support Texas's most vulnerable residents and an increase in advocacy for the personal needs allowance. As you also know, Texas Long-Term Care Ombudsmen are advocates for nursing facility residents, and we work at the bedside of residents. And while staffing and care are important issues, as you've heard today, residents continue to tell us that one of the most important issues to their quality of life is their personal needs allowance. When a person moves into a facility, they give up so much of their autonomy and freedoms, and a person's own spending money in a nursing facility is one of the last things they feel they have control over and can make real choices about. What a resident can afford is tied to their dignity and well-being. We've collected hundreds of letters from across the state from residents about what they spend their P&As on. These letters are being mailed or dropped off to the members who represent them. As you've heard today, residents spend their money on all the things that the facility doesn't provide, including snacks and meals out, cell phone minutes, haircuts, and personal care products. Something many may not realize is that residents need to buy a lot of basic necessities. A facility activity director recently told me that during their bingo games, one of the most popular prizes are shampoos and lotions because they take comfort in the items that are above what the facility provides as institutional products. The letters from residents further describe buying things like their own pull-up style briefs, fresh fruit, and clothing, among other things. Even without inflation, roughly $2 a day doesn't go far, but the rising cost of items has affected nursing facility residents just like everyone else. In the facility I visit, $2 doesn't even cover the cost of a candy bar from the vending machine. In closing, again, as you've heard, $25 a month may not sound like a lot to many of us, but will make a huge difference in the lives of nursing facility residents. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Just a quick question on the, I know it's kind of goofy, but on the depends, because I thought like incontinence supplies, if you're on Medicaid, all of that is covered. Is that a gap, or is that a facility not doing what they're supposed to do?
So the facilities are required to provide briefs, but what they provide are the flap closure briefs that, as Ms. Hill testified, are easier when you're working with someone who's lying down. But many of the residents prefer an upgraded pull-up style brief that's more like, what an adult might choose to wear. So those aren't covered by Medicaid, and so folks have to purchase those on their own. Yeah.
Is there a significant difference in cost?
That's a great question. I don't know.
It would be much of a difference in cost at all, but maybe there is. Okay. Thank you very much. Members, any other questions? All right. Thank you. Thank you. Chair calls Gary Gerstenhaber. Haber. I was so close. And the last person we show testifying or wanting to testify is Frederick Malone. If you could come on up in one of the chairs and be ready to go, if you don't mind. Oh, okay. You're good. You're good then. We'll wait. It's all good. Thank you, sir. All right. If you state your name, who you're with, your position.
Yes, sir. Please. I'm Gary Gerstenhaber. I'm for the HR 54.
HB 54, probably?
Yes, excuse me. Thank you, Mr. Committee Chair and committee members. During the 19th Silver-Haired legislative session in May of 2022, we rank ordered our top 10 of 54 resolutions recommended for consideration.
And sir, I'm sorry. Are you representing the Silver-Haired legislature?
Yes.
Okay. So
and myself.
And yourself.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Thank you. Now I'll stop bothering you.
That's okay. It's not a problem. The TSL prioritized a resolution we call the Personal Needs Allowance for Medicaid residents in nursing homes, asking the legislature increase the personal needs allowance for Medicaid residents to no less than $85 per month, and that going forward, the P&A be indexed with the CPI-W on a biennial basis. This resolution was voted the most important of our 54 resolutions, in large part since it has been a top 10 resolution for many years, moving up each term to reach number 1 this year. What is a personal needs allowance? This allowance is the amount of income an institutional client is allowed to keep of his or her personal income assets for items or services that will solely benefit the Medicaid recipient. Any income these residents have over and above their personal needs allowance goes to the cost of their care. Currently, the Texas Human Resources Code provides for a personal needs allowance of not less than $60 a month for Medicaid residents. It has been set at $60 since 2006, 17 years ago. According to the Consumer Price Index, the equivalent purchasing power of $60 for these same items would now require $85 to be spent. Our contention is that the current allowance has lost its ability to meet the needs of the Medicaid residents of nursing homes, especially within the past 2 years with extreme levels of inflation we are experiencing. With the escalating cost of personal needs items that senior Medicaid residents purchase, which they could barely afford before, now their allowance purchases far less of the items they depend on. Their ability to take care of their needs has a direct impact on their level of dignity and self-worth, especially those Medicaid residents who do not have any additional family support. They have to rely upon vigilant and compassionate legislators to recognize and address their plight in keeping up with the rising cost of personal items and services, including but not limited to the following: haircuts, clothing, pajamas, slippers and shoes, toiletries and other personal hygiene products, eyeglasses, dental services not covered by Medicaid, copays for prescriptions not otherwise covered by insurance, vending machine snacks and drinks, birthday and Christmas cards, stamps, small gifts for family and friends, magazines, newspapers and books, and even their cell phone service, all of which have a significant positive impact on the residents' quality of life, helps them stay connected to friends and family, and are a valuable complement to the services provided by the facilities. In their final years, where their lives are regimented and under direction of the nursing home, the personal needs allowance offers them something they can control, which helps to make their daily life more bearable. It is our hope this committee will carry HB 54 to the floor of the House of Representatives. We feel it is necessary and long overdue. Thank you for hearing our appeal.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your work with the Silver-Haired legislatures as well. Members, any questions? All right. Thank you.
Can I add one thing?
You may.
The difference in those diapers is about $45 a month.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your testimony and for that great information. Chair calls Frederick Malone, Elgin Rehab and Nursing Home Resident Council. Now, I see nobody else wishing to testify on this bill. If you do, please get registered. There's a number of other people registering for the bill, but no one else showing wanting to testify. So, and that is a cool machine. If you would state,
machine.
I'm sorry.
As you said, my name is Fred Malone.
That's great.
And I'm the president. I'm the president of the Residence Council. I can't go back and repeat everything they said, but it would be fair to you.
And if you just state your position on the bill, which I am pretty certain I know.
For
the bill.
Nothing but for.
Now go.
I'm plain spoken, so please bear with me.
That's all right.
The bottom line is, we in the nursing home, we broke. I can't put it no simpler. We're broke. We haven't had a raise since 2006. A candy bar, as Alexa said, is roughly, she said $2. No, it's $2.75. A candy bar. The food there is whatever you want to call it. I mean, when they bring the food out to you, put it in front of you. You can ask them, "What is this?" And they don't know. We like to go out places and eat on our own. I take my money at least once a month and go get me a good meal. A haircut, I'm one of the lucky ones that way because my son cuts my hair. The money I get in, I have to pay, like say what bills I do have. I have to pay. I'll continue to pay on them because one day I want to get out the home. Clothes, I have to buy sweats and stuff. Instead of buying me a suit like I usually wear. I buy a sweat because there are so many things I can do wearing that. My shoes, because of my feet, I have to buy special shoes. It takes me 2.5 months the money I get to save to buy me a pair of shoes. Now, nothing but that is that. I do have family, but I don't want to put all my bills, my needs on my family because they have needs. Living in a nursing home is not living. It's existing. I've been there for 3 years, and I watch people die weekly. People they call this place a place to sit and wait to die. Mainly because they feel that nothing or nobody wants us anymore. We are no longer citizens. We're just existing, looking for a place to lay down and die. I hate to put it like that, but that's the way it seems. You hear people hollering all night long, hollering for help, whether they need it or not. And when you cut your light on for help, it may be there a half hour to an hour later. We are living in hell. I go to the store, I see things I love to buy, and I can't. So that's what I call my wish list. I wish I can, I wish I can. I'm not asking for the whole pie. That's what you got to do, and y'all divide the pie. I don't want a whole piece of pie. I don't want a slice of a piece of pie. Just let me have the crumbs off the table. I'm talking $25. Next time you guys go to a store or to a restaurant and pay for a meal, you pull out $25, and before you give it to the waitress, you look at her. I'm giving her more a tip than I'm giving them to eat for a month. If you have any questions, and I hope you do, I'd like to answer them.
All right. Thank you, members. Any questions? Yes. Representative Manuel.
I just want to say thank you for being here, and I just want to echo, I don't think any of us want you to feel that you're existing. So thank you for being here. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
How you got here?
Well, all right. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on, for, or against House Bill 54? Seeing none, public testimony is closed, and the chair recognizes Chair Thompson to close on House Bill 54.
Mr. Chairman and members, thank you again for listening to this bill for several sessions. Let me just say this. These persons, when they go out to eat, they're not going to Perry's Steakhouse. They go, in my city, they go to Golden Corral. They go to a cafeteria where they can get a variety of food to select from. You know, we work here long hours, and it's awesome to work with persons of diverse ideas and issues that come from all parts of our state. It's a great honor to be able to work with each one of you. But think about the honor of a person to be able to every now and then just to go to a cafeteria and just eat one meal, or be able to buy a pair of underwear, a pair of pull-ups, where the fecal matter, if it accidentally happen to have, won't be falling out on your legs. We just ask them for just a little more than $2 a day. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the indulgence of this committee.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If there's no objection, House Bill 54 will be left pending. Chair hears no objection. House Bill 54 is left pending without objection.